I'm out this morning. It's 30 Fahrenheit according to the Wahoo. So it's not the lowest I've ever seen it, but I think that was 29, but so it's not far off. Oh, it's down to 28. Here's a bit of, that's what you got to watch out for, a bit of dodgy ice. But the lanes aren't too bad so far. The central frosty bit isn't slippy, it's just this bit here where the sun can't catch. It's my first Lycra ride of the year, so Happy New Year. 4th of January today. Off to see the tree again for the first time this year. Saturday today. We're up by the top of Lincoln Lane. Ombersley Golf Club is just behind me, and the view over to Woodbury Hill and Aberley Hill is absolutely stunning this morning. You can see the Wellingtonians poking out through the cloud, and a bit of Shrawley Wood. There's no view of Shaver's End. That's the mist in the Severn Valley there. I was up here last week and you could see all of it all the way down to the Malverns and over to Clee Hill. And then the few days before that you couldn't see even a few feet, so cracking day. But cold, so we'll press on to the tree. Made it now to the Tree of Perspective, and the sun has just broken through. I've just seen my shadow for the briefest of moments. It is gorgeous scenery for photographs though. I've also just seen a pickup truck with one of those sheep livestock trailers, the little ones, only it was full of people. Because I could hear the voices as it passed by here. And then another jeep come past and a car went past in the opposite direction, so it's been quite busy. 3 vehicles on a road where there's normally none. See the ponies, and there's a hay in the field. Maybe the view's clearing a bit. If the sun's breaking through, then it is getting... It will get a bit warmer, but the snow's forecast for this evening, and then into the weekend it's going to snow a lot, so I shan't be out on the Ridley then, because I've cut it fine today coming down to the petrol station, the A449 from the Ombersley Golf Club. That road is very icy. You can see the fields frozen, so... But it's a gorgeous day for pictures. Broughton Church again. It's always a nice spot to stop and get some water. I'm not needing any today though. Done the Droitwich to Kidderminster Road, which wasn't very nice. I'll say I need to take Ashley Neal's advice and let it go. Well, it's busier around here than in Aber. Guy Barker, 1910 to 1985. It's a nice lamppost. And the light's still working, that's alright. I did wonder if it had packed up, because it's in a vulnerable spot there, just dangling and just getting spattered with all the mud off the road. The Drayle's developed a squeak, which I'm not surprised about, but apart from that, it's a good ride. I've been sort of semi-pushing, so I am feeling a bit tired, but my ankle's alright, when I'm riding at least. It's not as cold, I don't think. I've warmed up quite well, sweating a lot. £34 so it has gone up. 18 miles done. So 28 is the longest I've done since my injury. So I'll go over that for sure, because it's more than 10 miles to home from here, even if I go back direct, which I'm not going to. I might go down to Droitwich. Some of the lanes have been a bit rough, but this Belbroughton one is good. You can tell I've been overtaken. Heading off up to Bournemouth, up the hill. WTO for the World Trade Organization. Just past the former site of A. Houseman's home. The frost's lifting on this south facing field. It's all gone, it's quite squelchy. I was wheeling the bike in. There's Bromsgrove. That roar of traffic down there is the M5, I think, and the Wychbold Mass. You can't see much else. You could see the Cotswolds from here, but just about visible on the horizon, but you can't pick anything out. Breeden, I can't see it. So we'll go past Snakes Lake Lane and carry on. I was just in focus then. And now it's back. I shall work out what those hills are. I'm by the Bentleys, Upper and Lower Bentley, near Bromsgrove. I'm doing a sort of circle back round towards Droitwich, looking at one of the victims of the big storm recently. Lucky it fell that way. I'm sure it will live on though. Plenty of undamaged growth on there. It's a bit lumpy around here. I think that's Clent, but I'm not sure. Looks like the snow's on its way. It's dull, it never brightened up much more than this. It's warmed up a bit though. It's now 33 degrees, so 32 is freezing. Just on the edge of Redditch, I can hear the M5 over in that direction. Bending back round towards Feckenham now. I shall take the right turn after this one. Pass through the interestingly named hamlet of Bentley Paunceford, if I've pronounced that correctly. Check a bit of play in the front brake, but I don't think it's anything unusual. I'm just looking at how small the calipers look now compared to discs and things. It's greying up, not too windy. We'll head off the next right after this one, so I stopped at Upton Warren and noticed a plaque on the side of a house dedicated to one of the local people who lived there. It's interesting because I've ridden past that for so many years. It's a nice gravel bike. But I've never noticed it before. Looking over to the Malverns, heading back that way, sort of that way through the valley up there, Severn Valley that is. I'm sure they're the Malverns, because you can see a lot of mist over the River Severn. I'm Ham Green, I think it's called, in Worcestershire. Heading off to Feckenham. I'm near the somewhat uneasily named Burial Lane. So, nice bench, be a good place to stop in the summer. But I want to press on, get around to Feckenham. Just leaving Feckenham, there's a village there, stalking the Swan. It looks very nice. I've never stopped here before. I've been through a lot of times with the dad on the way to Winfield's Outdoors shop, which I was pleased to see was still there. There he goes. There's his mate, or her mate. This is the old mill. I'm heading back. Heading on my way back now. I'll get on the lanes as soon as possible. I'll show you the milepost as well. That's quite, it's in an awkward spot to photograph, but it is quite interesting because it's got the distance to London on it. To London, 108. To, can't read that actually. 6. So I'm not sure what that would be, 6 miles away, but this is an old Roman road called the Saltway, Ulster to Droitwich. Droitwich Spa was an old Roman spa town called, you can see Salinae. Oh, there are 2 swans at the weir now. So we'll head on, take some of the lanes. While I'm here, Ulster it says. That must be quite an old milestone because you note it uses the long S. That's what confused me, and the A has worn away, but I took a photograph and it came out more clearly. The long S went out of fashion in the mid-19th century, I believe, if I remember correctly. And that's where we're going, up there, so we'll speak in a bit. I might call this Bonk Bench Crossroads because the amount of times I've stopped here knackered, I can't remember, but today is definitely one of those days. Heading for Droitwich, and then it's 10 miles. Just come up the lane from Huddington. It's been pretty slushy. 2:05, 47 done. So I shall hit 60 actually, which is probably 20 miles more than what I should have done, but I might get my first 100k of the year. That won't be too bad. The bike's dirty. Yeah. Well, anyway, we'll press on because it'll be dark in 2 hours and the snow will come down then. I don't want to be out too much in the dark because everything will freeze. Just show you this. My fan belt's gone. So, noisy back, gone through Droitwich, about 12 miles to go, and that'll be just about enough for me. Yeah, because I'll be over 50 now, I haven't checked. I might do a loop for 100k. But see how close I am. If I'm over 60 in Staple, then I will. I wouldn't normally have stopped. I'm just showing you what I've had, what the lanes have been like. For most of the day, this is an average one. They vary from completely dry to to like this, where there's slush all over the road, but it's the thin stuff, so it's not that bad. I'm almost at Rushock. Oh, pardon me. 55, and it's 2:45. That's 55 miles, so I should get 100k without having to do any extra bits. So 100k is 62, and I like to have it up to 63, 64. Lights are working, apart from that squeak, which is turned up. I'm very happy with the way the bikes run. If I was fitter it would be more comfortable, but can't complain. Presenting a serious bonk. I've not even come up that steep a hill, so I'm at Rushock Church. I'll turn around because the view's better that way. Oh dear. Alright. Thank you for the rest, Harold. Well, if the church is open, it should be, but alright. Oh, blimey. Nice light. Up to the tower up there. Those are the graves. plan. There is a famous grave here. I'll show it in a minute. Quite smaller than I thought. Gosh, that's interesting. I'll show that in a minute. It's the altar piece. The Ten Commandments. Oh, it's beautiful. And here's all the list of rectors. From 1313 to 2018. Church consecrated 1285. Oh, I'm very loose on my feet, so I'll take some photographs. There's the arms of King George III. There is some writing on it. Restored in honour of the coronation of His Majesty King George the 6th, 1937. But that's George III, who was the longest of the Georgian rulers, who reigned 17 something to 18 something, I think. Or turn of that century he died roughly. I'll put the date up because I'm afraid I can't remember it. The Mad King George, that's what his nickname was. Rushock Church before the organ was rebuilt 1900 to 1920 by Walter James Bird of Birmingham and moved to the present position in the gallery. That's up to the gallery then, that door up there. And then the visitor's book. So who was last here? I'm the second person this year. So I'm going to write, what day is it today? 04125. Thomas Port seeing John Bonham on a long cold cycle ride. Now anyone who knows who John Bonham is there's also a clue on the book. So John Bonham of Led Zeppelin is buried here, and so I shall show you the grave now. Before that, we'll look at this interesting map of visitors from around the world. As far afield as Japan and Canada and South America, South Africa. Get the focusing on point there. Remember to close everything up, so we shall go and see where John Bonham is buried. I shan't hang around though, because it is getting dark soon and cold. You can see it straight away, look. And you can tell what his role in the band was by looking at the grave. The coins have gone. There were a lot of foreign coins on the grave. There was one from Brazil and stuff, but they've been taken. And there's a visitor, welcome visitors sign there, John Bonham. Cherished memories, a loving husband, and I'll have to get a bit closer. Father, John Henry Bonham, who died September the 25th, 1980, aged 32 years. He will always be remembered in our hearts. Good night, my love, God bless. People have left the offerings there. Now, there's on a high ground here. It's a nice aspect. I saw the Hartlebury incinerator. That was burning away quite strongly. That'll be over there. You can see the mist is coming in. So, yes, we're pressing on. So, there's John Bonham, and straight down the hill directly in front is the road. You can just see it down there. Alright. And it's sandstone, of course. And I'm sure that's Shaver's End over there. Roughly in that direction. I'll put it down for sure when I look at the map. Alright, good evening. It's currently 6:30. And I've forgotten to do an outro video, so that's why everything's black. I got in about 4 o'clock, just before I think, and it was a cracking run. Ended up being 65 miles. After stopping at Rushock Church, I ate my last sandwich a couple of miles down the road at Cake Bowl, and then I didn't stop until Starport. The level crossing was down for about 10 minutes, but apart from that it was a clear run in, and it was a cracking ride actually. I'm very happy to have got the 100k for the year. That brings me up to 89 for the week, which is a lot. About 8 hours of time in the saddle, so it was a lot for me. And my ankle was pretty good. got back in the dry because it's going to snow at some point. They say the weather's coming in, but we'll see what happens. It's calm at the moment. Cloudy though. So that's probably the last Ridley ride for the time I'm at home. So when I'm back in Aber, it'll be back to normal videos, and I've got some plans for this year, so I'll discuss those at another time when they're better formulated. So for now, 89 miles is a good start to the year, and it's only the 4th, so I'm happy with that. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, cheerio.